It's March 2024, 2 months ago. I have literally zero experience or knowledge in the games dev scene, and I stumble upon a Pirate Software video on my lunch break. I checked out his game Heartbound, and I thought it looked amazing, and I've been following and watching his content ever since. Thank you. I decided what better way to get started than to follow a tutorial series on YouTube. That's when I landed on Sean Spalding's platformer series, and I was hooked. I followed the series all the way through to completion and learned so much about the building blocks of how games are made. I'll link to both of those channels in the description as well, as they have amazing resources for getting started. Anyway, about halfway through the series I realised I'm going to have a go at this myself. I heard so many people say don't bother making a 2D platformer, the market's super oversaturated, your game won't make any money, you'll never make anything as good as Mario or Hollow Knight. And I agree. But I also heard so many people say that they never finish their projects. They jump from project to project every time a new idea comes into their head. They work on X project for 6 months and then can it without ever releasing anything. And I didn't want to do that. A platformer seemed achievable and a good way to learn the basics without trying to run before I can walk. So I decided to stick with my 2D platformer, with full knowledge that it's not going to be anything groundbreaking or that hasn't been done before. But I wanted to learn the process of starting something from absolutely nothing and seeing it all the way through to release. I don't want my first experience with releasing and marketing a game to be when I eventually make my dream game, despite all the temptation and ideas I'm having as I learn more about the process and become more comfortable with development. For a bit of background, I studied computer science at uni and have worked as a software developer for the past 5 years, which is why I've managed to avoid tutorial hell while implementing the features in my game. But that definitely shouldn't stop you if you don't have that background. As I learned with the art side of things, you can pick things up gradually as you go through the development process. Granted, my pixel art skills are still absolutely mediocre at best, but I really wanted to do everything myself for my first game. So, after a couple of months of putting 30 hours plus into my project, after working on the weekends, I finally have a fully playable demo of my first ever game, with plans for the full release in Q3 of this year. At first I got caught up watching other developers, thinking, I'll never be as good as that guy, I have no idea what I'm doing, I better not make a YouTube video about another 2D platformer, everyone will think it's whack. But I decided to just avoid that trap of imposter syndrome and do what makes me happy. Maybe a career in games dev will never come, and that's okay. I just want to be able to honestly tell myself that I tried, I gave it my best go, and didn't let the fear of judgment hold me back from doing the things I like. I know that seems a little bit deep, but those are the thoughts that I think hold people back from doing the thing they want to do in this life, and it's far too short for that. I thought about holding off on creating a YouTube channel and social media until I was working on my second or third or fourth even game, where things are a bit more polished and I have a bit more of a unique project, but I think I was just trying to give myself an out because I'm fairly uncomfortable on the camera, and actually it took me quite a lot to make this video in the first place. And hey, the most loyal followers are usually the ones that were there from the start, to witness the struggle and follow along the learning process with you. So in 3 or 4 games time, hopefully I'll have a small loyal community that are looking forward to the games that I'm making being released. That would be a dream. I want to just focus on my growth in the games development scene and have a good time documenting the process along the way. As I learn more, I'll hopefully be able to make some videos that can provide real value to others at the start of their journey. Thanks so much for watching the video, and if you're interested in playing the demo of my game Turtle Run, I'll pop the link in the description for you and you can give it a go. If you have a good time, you can wishlist the game on Steam and you'll be notified when it releases later this year, Q3. I have about 30 wishlists so far. It's not much, but it's honest work, and honestly it's more than I expected at this point. If you have any feedback on this video or the game, drop it in the comments and I'll take it on board as best as I can. Cheers.